Hello again. I've picked another glorious day to be up here. Blue skies, nice cool breeze. We're still at the start of the spring. I've got a couple of things to do. When we've been building this shelter for where we're going to be teaching our courses in the coming years, which is going to be in a different video, we brought a load of pallets up just for working platforms, just for making sure all the timber framing's all at the right height when we're working, all level. So I'm going to blast through a few of those and make some kindling for this winter coming for home. That's going to take us a couple hours, but I thought I just didn't want to waste the opportunity of it being such a lush day and not doing anything else extra. So I've brought up some birch tapping kit. So I'm going to find one of the bigger trees. Before we get started, I'm just going to set up a little tap for that and then come back to it in 2 or 3 hours, hopefully, see how much we've collected. And that's my plan for today. I brought lunch as well. I think the hammock's in the truck as well. So midday snooze might be on the cards, which I am up for, 100%. I might do that first. Yeah, I think I might do that first, actually. One of the birch trees that I'm definitely leaving today, because it's one of the only ones where we have this fungus on it. This is Inonotus obliquus, which is chaga, well renowned for its firelight and its tinder making properties. The actual mycelium itself can be grated into like infusions, and part of these funguses, along with many others, are starting to be investigated quite heavily for reducing cancer cell growth and potentially even stopping the cell growth. So it's really important. So we leave this one because it's the only one in the wood, but it's a beaut, so I'm going to leave it. Just checking out where Dad's been along cutting some of the footpaths with a strimmer on the riverbank. You can smell the garlic, smell the wild garlic, it's absolutely everywhere. But while I'm down here, making the most of the sexy waterfall backdrop, just wanted to have a look at my little colony I'm making here. These are King Alfred's cakes, another tinder fungus, Dalidina concentrica. So we don't actually have any of these up in the woodland, but I brought this log up and I put it on top of other ash log, which it really favours. So I'm just hoping, yeah, there's a few more growing. A year or two, we'll just have a nice little colony going. Great little mushrooms. So this one isn't a bad size. You can get the sap out of like the trees at any sort of diameter, it doesn't mind. But this one is, yeah, what's that, like 30 centimeters wide. This one, be good, but yeah, probably wouldn't get too much out of it. I'm gonna go and have a look at a couple more because there's a big gnarly fatty that I was thinking about. I mean a tree. This is some dead standing, just trying to get a close up. See, the woodpecker's been in there. So that's a real lifeline for woodpeckers and the tree creepers and whatnot kicking around here, so I'll leave that. Plus it's dead, there's no sap in it. Now for some wood for making the actual tap itself, the peg, and then for filling in the hole afterwards. Finger width, that'll be absolutely perfect. It's got to be green, so a little bit of bark scraped off its green, and quite importantly, you've got to take one of the side branches. If you take anything from the main stem, you'll remove the sort of main hormone growth from the tree, and then that'll just not be good. So using good pruning cuts as well, so the tree will heal back over quite nicely. Tools and whatnot, sterilized them all last night as well, so just reduces the risk of bacteria getting in there. Let's get this out. This is where it hurts. Ah! So that's my stem. There's a couple of nice lengths on there I can use. That's all brush, so I'm just gonna take these bits off, make it a bit easier for transport. So the ideal time is to get the sap when the buds first start showing. If you see them from a distance, birch trees go like a really deep pastely purple, and that's the buds starting to grow, and then the leaves are just coming out there now. In fact, leaves are edible. Definitely just tastes like leaves off a tree. So they're little signs for what to look out for. They have a nice little after flavour. A little bit peppery. What is it? Almost like slightly junipery. Alright, so let's take that bit. This is a good one. Decent size. 30-40 centimetre width trunk. So all I'm going to do is, quite low down, I'm going to use the hand auger to drill a hole in sort of a centimetre or so. Only just need to get the cambium there. Then make a little tap out of these, and I've got a bottle underneath. Quite important, just keep this one off the ground, keep it clean, so it's got to be sterile. Right, I've not got loads of kit with us. Water. I was going to use that to collect it in, but then I found something else that serves me loads better. A little cheap water bottle does like 10 litres. Be lucky if we get a couple of 100ml today, just the top off here. Reusable straw. Don't know if I'll need that actually, I might just use the wooden peg itself. Yeah. So let's get this. Yep, I don't have a 10 litre lung capacity. There we go. So that's just going to sit there nicely. Going to peg in and then let it drip in. So with your pegs, got to try. It's quite important to keep it as sort of clean and hygienic as possible. So I did a bit of tool maintenance last night, and yeah, we're in the woods. It's as clean as I can get them. Right, that little noggin that I've taken off, I'm going to keep for after, pegging the hole up. I kind of think I want, how far out? Let's go 6 inches to start. Just get that as straight as possible. So then I'm just got to get the correct auger bit, the hand auger bit for drilling it there. That's going to go in there. Right. I've not got loads of my stack today. First aid kit, jumper, water, and that's about it. I've got a hand auger, so I just have to make do. I've not got all day. Don't know what they're doing in there. Right. Get the fat bit out. And let's get a good gauge as to where this is best going to sit. I think that'll be about right. There and there. So just going to get in a little bit. Now, by cutting the bark off the peg, we're going to A, get it to the right size, B, this is covered in like just natural bacteria, nothing too potent, but it just keeps it all sterile. Okay, just a little bit further. That's an inch. Chuck that in. You can hang these, but there's no way I was going to hang that in there. That'll do, that's all I need. Sometimes it takes a while to get going, so that's I'm just going to maybe just surround that with something so it doesn't blow over, and then come back to it in a couple of hours. Just for a bit more background information on the significance of the birch, what it can do for us, what it can offer for us, because it's a bit of a do-all tree. Yeah, you get a bit of firewood and you get your, is there any peeling off this? You peel bits off of your birch bark tinder because of the oils and whatnot, but navigationally, trees like this are really helpful. On our foraging days, we go into, not great depth on, but a little bit on natural navigation. There's no such thing as sort of symmetry, everything's asymmetric. And once you can kind of figure out what the differences are and do a bit of research into them, you can then understand why they're there. So, for instance, I'm not going to tell you which side of the tree it is. This side, we've got loads of lichens, lichens or lichens, which are like really drawn to water. The far side, we've also got mosses and trentifolia, which love humidity and water as well. But why are they on opposite sides of the tree? One can withstand a lot more sort of drying out, sort of grief from the wind as such. It can hold it, so it can then take the moisture from that. It's drawn with the natural drive of the rain. Things that can't do that are the mosses. You'll rarely see moss on an open area where it's getting beaten by the wind regularly. And these gorgeous little orange trentifolia, these are the same. So what they're wanting to do is not dry out on that side of the tree, which is the predominant direction of the wind. They want that wind to push any moisture around to this calm side of the tree. And what that gives is a straight leeward and direction of the prevailing wind. And once you understand where that is, you've got a bit of a natural navigation, figure out roughly where your norths and souths are. The only trouble is here, it all goes to pot because we're in a dip and the wind comes from all directions. But the birch, it's a good one. Get my jobs done now. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I've got the circular saw. I can just run between the nails, get them cut into maybe sort of 6-12 foot lengths. I picked this up off Amazon quite cheap. And all I'll do is screw that onto a log and tap the kindling with a mallet, and that'll just pop it open. I'll have, kindling for a couple of seasons, I reckon. Right, let's give it a test run, see if it works. Spot on. Just the right size. Right, let's give this a go then. Quite impressed with this so far. There's a bit of a knack, believe it or not. What it is good for is reduces the chance hitting your finger with an axe. Lunch. Again. Oh yeah. This is gonna be good. I've got... Get back up here. Dust that, only a bit of bird poo, that's fine. I've got some aged sirloin from Rothbury Butchers. Some homemade caraway and rye sourdough. Brie. Got the roasted onion. And I'm just going to finish this off with, why not, white truffle oil. Oh, oh. There we go. Get back in there. Check that out. Oh. Side profile. I'm not a massive steak eater. I don't eat it very often. It's literally once or twice a year. I went to the butcher's and I said to Morris, the guy in Rothbury Butchers, "Has he got any nice pork steaks?" Honestly, still the sirloin. I'm glad he did. That's just good. can tell it's aged as well. It's just got that like real intense flavour that you only get from like drying out meat over a month or two. I think you said 5 weeks. Honestly don't know what to say. That smoky onion. I was hunting around the cupboards this morning at home for some nice chutney or something, and then stopped at the shops on the way up. I was like trying to get some caramelized onion. I thought, you know what? It's like 20 pence for that thing. Chuck it in. The sweetness really comes out of it. Sort of when it steams, it self-caramelizes. Oh. I've got to say, that was good. I'm stuffed. I'm proper stuffed. I could do with a snooze. I forgot my hammock. I thought it was in the truck. It's not. Fail. Gonna go and check out the birch tap. See if we've got any sap. It was trickling out when it came, so might be a little bit. It's been a good day so far. Just getting some graft done. Lunch. And just getting a little bit of time in nature. I say just checking out a few little things to talk about in a foraging course that's coming up in a couple of weeks' time. There's loads out at the minute. Such a good time of the year. Big bumbler. Here's another birch, just a young one. Say young, 8, 9 years old. This would pointless tap in this one. There will be sap running through it, but not a lot. And it's a little young'un. Needs all the help it can get. I'm gonna leave that. I never take for granted how blessed we are to be able to operate Northern Woodcraft up here. It's just absolutely amazing. It's the whole diversity of what we've got to rummage through and talk about and forage. It's just great. This is the really nice thing about this woodland. As soon as you take the time to slow down, look down at the ground and take in every little thing around you, when you start to notice the little things. We've got some violets, some oxalis flowers, primrose, and then all around we've got these little fronds, look like carrots. These are the young pig nuts coming through. The ground's littered with them. You can see some celandine, sphagnum. It's just brilliant. Let's see what we've got. It's worked. Oh. Well, maybe 150 mil, 200 mil. Perfect. Oh, that's really nice. Right. Cool. Let's get that plugged back up now. That's what that little fat end bit was for. I'm just gonna whittle something that'll go in there, take all the bark off. Yep. Then tap that in. Cut it flush. So that's us there. So we've pegged that back up. You can see where the sap's been running out. And it's all stopped there. Normally if you haven't pegged it tight enough, there's a few dribbles below. That's all good. By end of the summer next year, that'll have all healed over. And if there's no water coming out, there's nothing to get in. So I'm comfortable that that's offering no sort of route in for bacteria or infection or anything like that. Jobs are done. Got all the kindling done. Tied up around the shelter. Got my sap. Had lunch. And a little bit of foraging. No complaints. You're lovely.